Hello and thank you again for joining us today in our FritoLay employee analysis. Let's go through a quick overview of what we're going to talk about. Today we're going to start with the business question and situation analysis, and then we're going to talk about some of the data we had to work with on our employee analysis, and then we're going to go through two research questions, one being the salary prediction, the second one being the attrition prediction. And in both, we're going to pull out some variable importances or variable indicators, and then from there, we're going to walk through the implications for FritoLay. Looking at the industry as a whole, we're seeing that in 2016, the U.S. potato chip industry has grown to about 7.74 billion and is expected to grow consistently over the next 10 years. With new competitors emerging in the industry, this is why it's important for brands like FritoLay to employ and retain top talent to stay at the top of the market share. So as part of this, we're working to find trends in the employee database to answer the research question of identifying the model and predicting attrition and monthly salary at a reliable level among FritoLay employees. So looking at the data we had to work with, we had training data of about 870 different employees with information on salary, performance, and company sentiment. It also includes information on whether they quit or not during the time of the research. And in addition, we had two different testing data sets, each with 300 new employees, and each of which have the same amount of variables except the test salary data set was missing monthly income, and the test attrition set was missing the attrition variables. So looking at the quick employee data analysis, you can see that about the attrition rate during this time of the study was about 16%, which is about 150 employees. In looking at attrition on job role, we're seeing that the sales representatives and laboratory technicians have the highest attrition rate, while the managers and research directors both have the lowest attrition rates, which is interesting because if you look at the job satisfaction by tiles, we're seeing that the manager and research directors both have the lowest average job satisfaction, while the healthcare representative and research scientists have the highest job satisfaction. So this would suggest if you're working in a lab, you're probably going to be more likely to be happy at your job than people who are going to be working as managers of other people. So that's something to keep in mind. But looking at our regressor models to predict salary, we've employed three different models, one being a k-nearest neighbor, second being a random forest, and third being a support vector method. Using root mean squared error as our North Star for the best model, we found that our random forest predictor model was able to predict monthly income at within $2,000 per employee, which is really strong and was our best model for moving forward. So we'll use this prediction model moving forward for future data sets. Looking at the top indicators of salary, seeing that the top indicators are job role, years in current role, and age. Age and years in current roles makes sense because these two are related to seniority at the company, while job role also makes sense because certain job roles are going to be paid a lot more than others. Looking specifically at the specific roles that are getting paid more, we're seeing the research director and managers are the ones who are more likely to get paid more than the others. So this is what sort of suggests that this is why they probably have the lowest attrition rates. Looking at our attrition prediction model, we ran three classifiers, one being a naive Bayes, second being a random forest, and third being a support vector method. While both models are very good at predicting sensitivity, i.e. like who was going to stay at the company over this research time frame, the random forest had the highest specificity at 67% in predicting which employees were going to quit. So that was our best model, and within that model we found that the top indicators of attrition were overtime workers' monthly income and stock option level. So in conclusion, kind of using this random forest model, we can employ that to predict when new employees are meeting the indicators for high attrition, and we can use that to provide a counteroffer to entice them to stay. In addition, we can employ the same random forest regressor model to show employees how their salaries or monthly income are slated to change over time so they can have a better control and handle of their future at FritoLay. So thank you again, and let me know if you have any questions.